Hey, I'm Kim Day. Welcome to the channel and to today's video. It's a pleasure to have you. I hope you're doing all right. I hope you're having a good day so far. If not, let's take a deep breath. And let it out. We're just gonna hang out and do some makeup. And yes, there's a holiday coming up. Whether it's real or not for you, I just need you to know it's very real for me. Valentine's Day. Valentine's Day, everyone. It is my favorite holiday of all the holidays. I mean, I like celebrating things, but Valentine's Day, ever since I was a wee one, has just been my favorite. From being in elementary school and having little boxes at your desk and having to fill out or make little valentines and just basically spending the day eating snacks and sweets and sending love letters to each other, whether they were forced by your parents and teachers or not. Honestly, sign me up. If you want to do this as adults, let's do it next year, okay? Let's freaking get it. But also, just like any other holiday, like of course, Thanksgiving, it's the day that you're thankful. And you want to be thankful every day. But when it comes to Valentine's Day, I think, the idea is like, oh, well, you should tell the people that you love them all the time, which I highly recommend. Do it so much that it's weird. Like, tell people you love them, your friends, your family, someone that just looks at you just right. Just do it. I mean, most of the time it'll be great. But I love having an established day as an excuse to just be mindful of that and to really be intentional with my time that I spend talking to and with my loved ones. It's not all about spending money on people because, let's be honest, your girl doesn't have much. But it also is a good time to know the love languages of the people in your life. Quality time, gifts, acts of service, physical touch. And the other one, did I say acts of service? I don't know. I'll make sure I have all of them here. Especially as I like to say, you're balling on a budget, then, you can really just kind of tap into those things that don't cost a lot of money. And if anything, if you're not really into the whole thing and you just want to do some cute makeup, another excuse. We don't need them, but just ride the wave when it comes, if it feels right. So whether you're celebrating Valentine's Day, Galentine's Day, Palentine's Day, let's just celebrate together. I'm sending my love to you, and I hope you're receiving it, and I hope you're doing that with a lot of the people in your life, whether it's one person, whether it's your cat, your dog, or you got a bunch of people just with their big old hearts throwing them at each other. Let's revel in it, because we've had a rough year, and we're still not out of the clear, and we deserve it. So I know I'm not going to any fancy dinners, doing anything like that, but I like putting myself together with a good little makeup look, playing with some of my favorite colors, and I want to take you along with me. So I'll walk you through the process of putting the look together and also how I chose kind of the color scheme. It's going to be a good time. So get your snacks, get your makeup if you want to do it with me, or just sit and wrap yourself in a blanket and eat popcorn or pizza, whatever is your fancy, and let's hang out. We'll start the tutorial right now. Starting with skin, which we'll do really quickly. First, I'm going to do a little bit of MAC Fix Plus. I did just use some micellar water and go over with some Belief Aqua Bomb. This is a little sample, which has been really great just to have at my desk for when I'm not doing my full skincare routine. Just going to let that sit for just a second. And then foundation, I'm going to mix my 2 shades of Too Faced Born This Way. Applying foundation while the spray is still damp. I think they're just going to kind of bind and create a really nice finish, because when my skin's a little bit drier and I'm using a more full coverage foundation, even if it claims to be a little more hydrating, which I don't really think Born This Way does, it just helps to have that little extra grip and hydration. Using a clean beauty blender. I haven't actually used beauty blender in a long time. I have a lot of different sponges, but I finally went through and did a massive clean of everything. Like, look, all new clean brushes, clean sponges, and this was the easiest one to get clean, and I just missed the texture, so I might be back on the beauty blender train. It's been so long since I've worn foundation. It's crazy just seeing what that does to help even out my complexion and how I'm already like, who am I? You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you just gotta put on some makeup. It's a fun time. Now onto concealer, which is another mixture. Tarte Shape Tape, just using up a lot of what I've got and what I've had for a little bit. This is the shade Medium for inner corner to cancel some darkness, and then I'll be using light medium for a little bit of highlight. For now, I'm done with concealer and foundation. I'm done with my base because I do want to start working on my eyes, but I wanted to even out my complexion a little bit better and also kind of set up the base that I need for my eyeshadow. Usually when I'm using bolder colors, as you see that we'll be using, I prefer to do, or I like the idea of doing my eyes first and then foundation, but I like building the layers that I need and just trusting myself that I will do a wonderful job and clean up if I need to. Before we get to putting any color down, I wanted to walk you through really quickly as I possibly can, my process for choosing the colors and the look that I did, because I kind of sat down and was like, it's about to be Valentine's Day, which is, as you know, my favorite holiday, for many reasons, but mainly the color scheme. And I feel like this is a day that I, was born for. However, when it comes to doing makeup, there's a lot of like traditional ways where it's like play with a little bit of pink and do a red lip, or just do a red lip, or just do pink on the eyes or something like that. And I figured, not everybody, one, has pink and red and shimmery things to play with, but also like that may not be everybody's jam. However, I did want to kind of stay true to what makes me happy and what makes me excited, but I also knew that I wasn't going to be doing a red lip because I'm staying home all day. I'm not wearing a red lip. You can't make me. Let me just show you the palettes that I went through, the color stories that I was thinking of, and you guessed it, a lot of it's pink. And let me know if you have any of these at home, and I recommend you using them if you have them and if they look and feel good to you, you know what I'm saying? I first went for my classic Too Faced Chocolate Bar palette. It has a lot of, hey guys, this middle shade, this middle pink shade is really cute and sweet. And this is a shimmery kind of champagne-y, they call it champagne truffle. Those colors are really sweet together and they have really nice warm nudes to blend with. Love. I then went for my Huda Beauty Desert Dusk palette, which has a lot of really pretty warm tones, but really beautiful shimmers, purples, oranges, coral, pink, you name it, they've got it, and it's fabulous. I also went for my Elsie The Minimalist Mauves edition, Mauve series. I absolutely love this palette. The colors are super pigmented and just blend really beautifully, especially for an all matte palette. And then I was like, I just really love pinks, and what are my favorite pink palettes? So this Vizart, I don't know, Theory 2 palette, I think, Siren palette, has some of my favorite matte shadows of all time. This is a really light coral and this is more of a true salmon color. They both show up so beautifully, even without a lot of preparation. And this is a really beautiful peachy shimmer with gold in it. Then of course, I went for another classic favorite, my Huda Amethyst Obsessions. I could wear this all day, every day. I just love these like pinky purpley tones, and you could just get so many beautiful looks. And I actually might use some of this today. I mean, you already saw it, but I'm still figuring it out. Yeah. And then last but not least, second to last, but this is my favorite, Anastasia Norvina. It's got like my favorite colors of all time. It has really beautiful shimmers, and I love this pink Wild Child and this color Soul. I know it's a deep periwinkle, but when they're in a same look together, they kill. I love it. And that Celestial Purple is amazing. So I was thinking about that, and then I was like, oh wait, I have more, don't I? This is an oldie. I think it's discontinued now, but it's one of my absolute favorite palettes because it's full of beautiful shimmers. It's the Jouer Ultra Foil Shadow Palette, and this light pink, which we might use today, is insane. All of these colors and shimmers are amazing. So I was like, okay, I could use that. Or my little Kaja Beauty Bento. It comes in these really pretty, this is more of like a light pink with gold flecks to it. This is like kind of coral with gold in it, and then more of a brown on the bottom. I was like, yeah, so I don't have a lot to choose from. And then it hit me, I know people usually go for a red lip, like Valentine's Day screams red lip. I really wanted to do a red liner, but y'all know I'm just not much of a liner girl, at least not all the time, and I want this Valentine's Day to be true to what I feel like doing, which is not a lot, guys. Surprising, not a lot. So I then came across this guy, my BH Cosmetics Take Me to Brazil palette, which is just a crazy rainbow colors. This is one of my first palettes, I think, from like 4 or 5 years ago, and I love her. And I thought, you know what? Let's put the red on our eyes. But it's not going to be overpowering and not too dramatic, so let's put it together. Got you zoomed in a little, and I'm going to use this red color with a short, flat, semi-dense brush. It could be shorter, so it could be a little denser, but I think it's going to work. And I'm just going to take that, pat it in really lightly. With any color in general, but especially with bold colors, I say just start with a little bit and build up as you go. That's the beauty of it all. I have my lighter concealer tapped onto my lids kind of as my primer, and I'm just gonna go right into it. So taking this and starting right at my top lash line, just like that, light back and forth, and starting to do kind of a V. So doing one line at the lash line and then starting the V going up to my crease. And then I'm also gonna bring it a little down to my lower lash line, but we're not really big on shape just yet. We're just trying to build some density at the root of the lash. So I just want to get as close in there as possible, but just kind of do a V like this right here. Then with a clean brush that's semi-fluffy, I'm just going to start to blend the edges. I know red isn't usually a go-to for a lot of people, but again, it's a holiday, we're celebrating. And also I want to show you, regardless of who you are and what your thoughts on red are, that you can build a look that looks healthy and beautiful and fun. Because I know with some people, depending on your skin tone, red might not be, like I said, a go-to because it could make you look like you're a little sick, you got like red around your eyes. But if you build the look properly and kind of balance it and add some drama with your lashes, I think you can have a good time. That's about as far out as I want to go and as far in. So I'm just trying to be mindful of the shape because I kind of want it to just be this like misty elongation of the eye with a pop of color. I don't want it to be too dramatic, but build it up or bring it down as much as you want. I'm gonna do the other side. A quick note, if and as you're blending out with this clean brush, when you blend out a red shadow, especially if it's already kind of on the lighter end and maybe not a really dense pigmented formula, it runs the risk of kind of changing tone. So it looks a little bit pink on me in different light, which I'm not actually mad at because it's definitely on theme. But if you want to intensify your color again, just pick back up from the pan and just press it in. Just stamp right at the root of the lash now that you've got the shape established and you've kind of blended without taking up too much room with your brush on your skin. Just press it in and you'll still get that dense, opaque red that you want. And if red's not your color, this could be a purple, this could be a blue, it could be brown. You know, possibilities are endless. And now for the inner corner, which I want to be really light and we'll add some shimmer. I'm gonna first start with this light pink shade from my Visart palette, Vision. Again, it's just really beautiful and opaque for such a simple shadow. And I'm just gonna take that and press it into my inner corner, kind of on an angle, and bring it up. I don't need a lot of color. I don't want this to be too dark or too heavy. This is just gonna help be a good base when I put my shimmer on top. It's subtle and just adds a really nice balance to the red that's on the outer corner. So now I'm gonna go in. I debated a lot with all of the pinks that I have on what my shimmer is gonna be. And I think I'm gonna start with this light pink shade from my Jouer palette. It just seems kind of like the truest, shimmeriest, princessy pinky color. So using my favorite little inner corner brush, my M507 from Morphe. This shadow definitely has a tendency to fall out, so I'm just keeping that in mind. But just tracing over that pink that I put in and giving a little shimmer. Most of the time when I do inner corners, especially with a really light and bright color, I like to bring it up and kind of trace the socket of my eye, almost tracing the under part of my brow. So I like to bring it up kind of in a dramatic way, and I also like to bring it just under, starting the lower lash line, just so it really is highlighting that whole inner corner and creating this really cool whoosh, you know? Once you've dipped your brush in the color, making sure to focus that color directly in the inner corner and then just use really light strokes to blend it out and bring it out to the rest of the lid, because you want it to just be this kind of sprinkling. Then I'm just using my finger to blend the rest of the shimmer so it kind of goes across the middle of my eye, even though I have this bare spot, which I want to leave there. So there we have it. And of course we can clean up the edges if you want when you go in with the rest of your complexion products, which I'll probably end up doing. And I thought I was going to leave this look with the blank space in the middle, but my heart's telling me I need more shimmer. So I'm going in with this Huda palette and I'm using this light shimmer. Shimmer. This has a little bit more of a purpley tone to it, which I think kind of will balance out really nicely. And I'm just doing it as like a little lightning strike through the middle of my lid. Basically where I know my pupil is, my iris, and then just bringing it up to the rest of my lid. This clearly isn't meant to be super technical. It's just supposed to be kind of fun and simple. Let the shimmer and the shadow just talk for itself, speak for itself. So just do what feels right. I think that second shimmer in the middle was definitely the move. I just love the way the light dances on the lids. So now I'm gonna go on to mascara. I'm just gonna brush my lashes as close to like a fan butterfly shape as I can, just to bring that drama. And I'm gonna finish touching up my foundation and base, and I'll show you that right now. It's coming together. I mean, lashes always pull a look together, especially when you're going a little crazy with the shadow, am I right? So, like I said, I've used my mascara, my trusty Chanel La Volume. Been using it to just kind of bring my lashes to the outer corner as much as possible, both top and bottom. If you maybe want a little more help with your drama, I would use some falsies or just use some individuals on the outer corner for more of that. It also helps if you aren't really comfortable or confident with the shape that you did the outer corner in the red. It just helps to kind of blend in with that. And I just used my fluffy brush that didn't have any color on it, and I just kept going back and forth like this. And it just creates even more of this like edgeless, smoky abyss of color. Now when you do that, like I said, I would recommend going back with your red to really deepen the roots. So I will end up doing that. I filled in my brows with my Anastasia Brow Wiz. I used my tried and true butter bronzer as some bronze tour. And then I used this Marc Jacobs Tantric bronzer, which I got on sale at like Marshall's for like $15. It's way too light for a bronzer on me, but I use it on my cheeks because it's this perfect bronzy blush, and I think it will help to balance the cool tones of the shimmer, and I don't want to go full nude on my lip. So that's to bring you all up to speed. I'm getting really excited, as you can tell. Oh, and then I did a little bit of shimmer, some highlighter. This is an oldie but a goodie, my Ofra Sea Shimmer highlighter. Love it, especially since I'm matte and I'm powdery and I'm planning on staying inside. I don't know what that has to do with anything. But lips, I have two options. Two. Because I would normally do a nude lip with something bold and kind of fun like this on the eyes, but since I'm staying home, I want to use something easy to wear. One of my absolute favorite lip products of all time is Glossier Generation G. This is the shade Like. As always, and with a lot of things Glossier, I think there's a lot of mixed reviews, but this has been one of my favorite like of all time go-to products because you just need 2 swipes on a top and a bottom lip and you have color. And it looks so natural, it's comfortable, it's easy to apply, it's easy to reapply, it fades really naturally. I don't know how much more I could say about it. Obviously, you have to take into consideration how pigmented your lips are if you want to use it because it's such a light tint, but I really like it. If you do have darker lips, I'd recommend using the shade Jam, which is more of a berry color, but shows up really similarly in shade, family, and tone. So this is one that I would probably just leave it with and go. However, I just came across a new product today that I want to share with you. So let's try it. Let me take this off just using Bioderma. And yeah, like I said, I would normally do a nude lip color. I'd go full liner, do the whole works just because that's what feels right to me most of the time. But because I'm going to be home and my beau and I and our dog are just going to be sitting on the couch. I don't know about you, but Roger and Hammerstein's Cinderella, aka Brandy and Whitney Houston's show-stopping musical situation, is new to Disney Plus, and that has been the defining movie of my entire life. And I literally would just go on YouTube to look up the soundtrack so I could listen to it while I cook dinner. All that to say, I'm going to be watching that while stuffing my face with pizza. So I don't want to be thinking about what's going on my mouth. So I'm not thinking of heavy gloss, something like that, even though I think a gloss would look really cute with this look. So thank you for bearing with me. I have a lot of weird energy right now. It's almost dinner time for me and I'm really hungry and my battery's about to die. So I went to an Asian market today, Coreana Plaza here in the Northern California area. They have a store called Nature Republic, and I came across this gel tint, which I mentioned in my 2021 predictions and just hopes for myself to experiment more with lip tints, because I think masks are still going to be a thing and tints are just easy to use. Oh, that's too much. Just applying it, blending it out with my fingers. I didn't realize how bright it would be. Okay, it's a little too bright than I thought. It was much more natural on the little sample that they had. Maybe I'll use a little Bioderma. It's not bad. It might be a little too bold. Okay, I fixed my battery sitch, and in that time, the tint has kind of settled, and I really like it. It's very similar in color to the Generation G Like. Like is, I think, a little cooler tone. This seems to be a little bit more warm and bright, but I think it's really cute. I tried to focus it a little bit more on the inner part of my lips. I just like that effect with a lip tint, but it's comfortable. It's gonna fade really easily and naturally, and I don't know, I think it completes the look really nicely, don't you think? So here we have it, ladies and germs. I think this is where I'm gonna burp, excuse me. This is where I'm gonna leave it. I am really pleasantly surprised by this lip tint. It was like $5.90 and then tax. But like I said, I'm really into tints, and I think that the Asian beauty market, this is Korean, has a lot of really beautiful tints to play with, and I've already started kind of dabbling with other brands. So this is a win for me so far. Obviously it's very new, but since I'm just gonna be going and eating dinner, I'm not too concerned. And that was, again, I can't stress it enough, my main focus when putting together this look, because I wanted it to be really sweet and light and fun and just celebrating a day that I love and making me feel fun in my favorite shadow colors, but also really functional, really low maintenance for throughout the day. And especially if I were to be, you know, going out and putting my mask on because I have to take the dog out or run an errand or whatever, you know, having the fuller coverage and using my MAC Fix Plus setting spray is just going to help it not budge as much, so I won't have to worry about touching up if I were to use something a little more dewy. And using a tint like this on my lips, I can just reapply throughout the day if I want to, but I don't, it's a really set it and forget it type thing, and I think that's going to be really helpful if you're Valentine's Day, Galentine's Day, Palentine's Day, or just regular Sunday is going to be spent at home and you still want to feel a little glam, you know? But if you want to throw on a gloss, if you want to throw on a red lip, if you want to go bold or just creamier, I say go for it. I highly recommend. Just do what feels good. But that's it, you beautiful people. I hope that you are well and safe and sane. It can be hard these days, but I just hope that you're able to find joy in something that you love and people that love you, and take a day or some moments for yourself and just really enjoy the process, especially when it comes to makeup, because this is where I find a lot of my serenity if I'm just being easy on myself and not telling myself that it has to be perfect or whatever, you know, just doing it for fun, sharing it with you. I really enjoy it and it really brings me a lot of happiness to my heart. That's it. I'm gonna let you go. I gotta go because I feel like I'm just gonna keep rambling, but enjoy your day whenever and wherever you are. Please, y'all, if you haven't already, like my video, subscribe to the channel. You know, it's a good time. It's just a fun time to hang, do some makeup looks, do some reviews, etc, etc. That's actually it. I love you so much. Please, seriously, take care, be well, say hi to me down in the comments, and I'll see you in the next video. Love you. Bye. Happy Valentine's Day and a happy Cinderella weekend. It's possible.